Hello, welcome to Bespoke Unit. In this video we're going to be exploring large collection of cigar storage options. If you're like me and you've outgrown your tupperdors, your wooden desktop humidors, and you've got many boxes and trays to store, this is the video for you. We're going to go from low to high, so stay tuned. Hello, my name is Paul Anthony.
I'm CP.
And as a person who has gone off the deep end and got far too many cigars to store, this is something very near and dear to my heart. Because when we first got into cigars several years ago, you know, it was all about getting a few sticks here from your local cigar shop, then maybe buying a few online, then maybe getting a few boxes of cigars we like, to present day where I now have probably 12 to maybe 1,500 cigars. But the only way out of that hole is you either smoke them or you store them. You know, I don't know if I'm going to smoke 1,500 cigars in the next week. So as a result, we need to explore large cigar storage options. So the purpose of this video is to really walk you through some of the cheapest options to some of the most expensive options and talk about their pros and cons.
Precisely.
So I'll probably go with the cheapest option because that's what I'm currently using for my cigar storage, which is the famed cooler door, which is basically a cooler that's been converted into a humidor. So when we refer to a humidor, that's any kind of microclimate which is suitable for cigars, which is anywhere between kind of low 60% relative humidity to 70% humidity, and also will kind of keep a stable temperature as well. Luckily enough, I live in the northeast US and I have a basement in my house, and even in the hottest months during the summer, my basement doesn't get above 64, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's fine. So I don't actually even use insulated wall cooler doors. I just use big Remington kind of basically blown out massive Tupperware that's got a foam gasket around the entire lid of the cooler door, and it stores up to 21 trays of these and probably around 15-20 boxes as well.
Nice.
And I actually have about 6 of those right now, and they work perfectly, and they're about $40 each. The only thing you need to do is add a humidification device. I also like to add a smart hygrometer that ties into my phone so I can track the temperature and relative humidity over time, and I don't actually have to open the boxes themselves. So that's kind of like the cheapest option when you're looking at kind of large cigar storage. And then I know beyond that you're kind of getting into kind of actively managed temperature and relative, well, first off, actively managed temperature, which would be the cigar fridge, and then it will be the cabinet. And I know, Charles, this is something that you've been researching a lot.
I have been researching a lot. Unfortunately, I don't yet have the means to treat myself to one of those, but I don't have the need either because my collection isn't quite the same scale as Paul's. Not yet, anyway. When you're looking at when you're looking at cooler doors, there are downsides to this as well. First of all, well, you don't have, in the large storage, you don't necessarily have insulation. With coolers, yes you do. But they're not exactly presentable. It's not something you can really leave around the house, and when you have guests over, they can't really come and ogle over your collection, and it's not really a talking point. So if you want something that's more in the house and that you can really show, and when you have guests you can open it up and people can make some selections, or even something you can admire personally, then you might want to firstly move towards fridges. Shall we talk about fridges before cabinets?
Yeah, I mean, I actually have a fridge which is my kind of gateway into large storage. I mean, the fridge I have is a 250 count fridge.
You can go up to about 350.
Yeah, and it worked fine. I mean, it's great at controlling temperature. It's not going to do anything about humidity. Again, I just stick in Boveda packs to manage it. I actually have that at the office because my office is kind of HVAC system is centrally controlled by the landlord themselves, and in the summer they let the temperature get up to 76, 78 at weekends. So I want cigars at the office because it's close to the golf club I'm a member of. I have clients there when Charles-Philippe comes to visit. You know, I want some cigars that are at the office and not necessarily at the house. So I actually had to have I actually got mold on some cigars that I was storing there in an acrylic humidor.
Oh wow.
So that was obviously a red flag off the bat. So what I did was immediately buy a cigar fridge, which was perfect, but I actually outgrew that, which was then when I transitioned over to the Remington storage. But yeah, they're fantastic, but again, if you're getting over that $250 to $300 cigar count, they kind of have their limitations.
Yeah, precisely. And before you get to cabinets, there is another stepping stone that you could instead opt for, which is a footlocker or chest style wooden humidor. Now these are great in principle, and you can have some which go at the foot of a, for example, the foot of a coffee table, foot of a sofa, or even the foot of your bed, and they are about, I don't know, a couple of feet high, and it's like a big desktop humidor that sits on the floor. These, in principle, are quite good. The only real downside is because when you're getting to this size, it can get quite chaotic in there and quite hard to organize. You tend to have one shelf at the top, and then underneath is this big, deep storage.
I mean, I'm running into that same thing here. I'm numbering trays. I've got boxes everywhere. I mean, it does become
complicated,
a bit of a nightmare. So they're kind of, I suppose, furniture doors.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
Doors.
They can.
That's a great way of putting it. I like that. I hope that catches on.
So you can definitely have those furniture doors, but again, one of the main issues with those is that they're not going to be temperature controlled typically, and they're not going to have their own kind of humidification stuff, which is, again, that's going to be like a Boveda solution.
Exactly. So let's not be about the bush, and let's get to the cabinet. Cabinets can start from as little as around $700, and if you're interested in the best cabinets, we do have links in the description below where we offer our recommendations based on research and based on talking with actually some professionals who store cigars in that scale as well.
I mean, we were recently at a cigar shop here in Philadelphia. It's actually at Media, PA, and the cabinets they were using were ones that we've recommended that you've talked to other people about using, and they did confirm that they actually love them. They what the names of those ones?
So these are very large scale. These are the Reagan, which is a 2-column, big electronically powered cabinet that can store up to about 5,000 cigars, and it has a very matching price. You're looking at about $1 per count storage, so about $5,000. And then there's the Remington, which is the single column version, which is about 2,500 you're looking at in terms of budget and in terms of storage.
So that's both temperature controlled and has its own humidification system, which you have to recharge with distilled water.
Yes, you do. Well, this particular one, it has an integrated humidification and cooling system, which is kind of quite convenient if you're the kind of guy who wants something to be already set up when he buys it. If you're willing to do a little bit of extra work, which requires researching the best humidification system most adapted to that kind of scale of storage, as well as cooling units, then you can go for other types of wooden cabinets which are equipped with inbuilt AC outlets, which means that then you don't have to pass cables from the outside and literally make a hole in your microclimate.
Sure. So again, it gets, once you get up to that kind of several thousand collection, we're probably moving out of the realm of kind of the average collector. So I mean, once you get to that point, you can even explore creating kind of your own walk-in humidor.
Yeah, absolutely.
But always the difficulty with this thing, the big pressure point is going to be relative humidity.
Yeah.
You know, when people talk about rotating cigars, obviously you've got a humidification kind of unit, or just pumping out, you know, the steam or the vaporized water, that the cigars near there are probably going to be closer to 100% RH as opposed to the ones at the top, which again for smaller storage solutions will like Boveda, because it is that two-way humidification. So there's always going to be some pressure points and some pain points, especially when you get to much larger storage solutions. I know when I read the Nat Sherman cigar book, they actually in there, I don't know if they do it anymore because this book's probably around 20 years old now, they actually offer a service where they will come in and convert, where I think they even mentioned wings of the house into into walk-in humidors. I mean, obviously it's possible because there are many stores out there, but you've really stores out there that have walk-in humidors, but obviously that's going to be a much larger investment. Again, but if we're talking about large solutions, we're probably talking in the, you know, several hundred to several thousand cigars. Anything over several thousand, getting into the 5, 10, 20,000 cigars, you're probably going to look at a much more expensive either dedicated room or large dedicated cabinets with some pretty sophisticated and pricey tech.
Precisely.
So with all of that being said, probably the best thing to do if you're actually in the market for some large cigar storage solutions is to look at the links below, because we have a page on Bespoke Unit that is updated regularly with the best solutions that we have found today, which may come from your very own comment if you wish to do that in the bottom of this video.
Please.
So if you do have a large cigar storage solution that you like, whether it's something similar to the Remington or whether it's an airtight, cheaper cooler door, or whether it might be a fridge option, please make those comments below, as we'll definitely update the Bespoke Unit page, and the rest of the brothers and sisters of the Leaf community members here at Bespoke Unit can definitely enjoy that knowledge as well. We're all learning, all growing as new products come out, and services as well. So anything else to add there, Charles?
I suppose the last comment I would probably have is, as well as the presentation, a benefit of a cabinet, if you're seriously considering one, is that it's much easier to organise than, you know,
oh, definitely, yeah.
So there is that added benefit, and probably worth something considering if you do have a very large collection that you would like to regularly go through and keep organised.
Yeah, probably at this point we may even put a picture of Charles-Philippe standing outside these cabinets here, so you can see the scale. I mean, he's only a small guy, but these cabinets are about the same size as him.
I have an average height.
Okay, so they're about 5'8" high. You know, so you can see they have nice glass panels. There are nice shelves there. So as Charles said, they are definitely very attractive. That would suit, you know, a good man cave kind of option.
One day.
Yeah, one day. But again, this video and the resource on bespokeunit.com/cigars is definitely targeted towards those several hundred to several thousand collection. You know,
for all budgets and for all needs. We really do try and cover every type of collector or cigar smoker, so we really, hopefully you will find something for you in there.
Perfect. With all of that being said, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I'm Paul Anthony.
I'm CP.
And I'll see you next time.
Take care.